Guys, did Nikita Dragun just shade Trisha to the point where Trisha logged off Twitter? Hello and welcome back to Drama Investigator. In today's investigation, we're going to be covering Nikita Dragun shading Trisha Paytas and Jason Nash's girlfriend exposing Trisha. So here's a snippet of some of the tweets from Trisha and Nikita's Twitter feud, where they shaded each other, and of course Trisha came for Nikita because she's still friends with James. Girl, no one ever knew you. I still don't. You pretending people actually show up to your meet and greets. You know me enough to talk about me on your podcast and get excited when I send you Dragon Beauty PR. Girl thinking she did something with a plastic egg, lol. Find a talent and maybe you can have people you can call fans one day. Not bad for a girl with a plastic egg. LMAO, what even is this? Embarrassing. Keep flexing that Snapchat show. I will, babe. Congrats on your little podcast. Lol, girl, that's called being polite. You just hang out with trash. I tried to defend you when people talked about your looks. Calling you is a low blow, and I don't like it when people do that. But your behaviour in this and with I'll keep calling it. You're a Thank you for defending me. I appreciate you. I'm not even trying to cancel Nikita Dragun, because by the tweets, I think she's the only person online more hated than me. At this point, I just feel sad. She needs to humble herself, / reflect on why so many people have distaste for her. Spoiler, it has zero to do with her gender identity. And then Nikita responded with these pictures of Trisha. Trisha had responded, imagine mocking a non-binary person who was confused of their identity for 20 plus years. You're a piece of to try to spin my disgust for you as a trash human into a general trans hate spin. You're disgusting. So yeah, their feud got pretty ugly. Moving on from this, Jason Nash's current girlfriend Rachel Velasco recently posted a video titled My Message to Jason Nash and Trisha Paytas. Within the video, she discusses the paparazzi video that was taken of her recently, showing Jason abandoning her on the side of the curb. She claimed that she was actually just waiting for her dog to leave doggy school. Within the paparazzi video, we could clearly see Jason's girlfriend Rachel arguing with him, obviously about messages he had sent to Trisha Paytas at that time, where it sounded like he was trying to get back with her. That's what fans were suspecting from the messages anyway. And going by the few things fans knew before Rachel posted this video, it appears that she's made up a story and is playing innocent for some reason. Now, it's very interesting because people are digging up more dirt to do with Jason's girlfriend Rachel. Rachel appears to contradict her statement that she and Jason were just friends. She said the following in a nearly 3-month-old Reddit post from a Reddit account that allegedly belongs to her. How can I help balance my mental health with a partner who has severe PTSD? A little less than 2 years ago, I started hooking up with a man while he was in town for a work trip. I live in New York and he lived in LA, which I happen to travel to around twice monthly for work. He also traveled to New York for work often, and we started to hook up on a semi-regular basis. Note, I'm in my mid-20s. He is in his mid-40s. I never expected anything more than a hookup, let alone to see him again, but we became instant friends. Eventually, I began to develop feelings, but found it rather unlikely as he was in the public eye for work a lot, and I had just begun my career in New York City. In the beginning of my feelings, it was brought to my attention that the man had suffered BPD and had severe PTSD from his past relationship, which ended in May. We met in June. His partner used to physically and mentally abuse him, attempt to ruin his career, and more to the point where sometimes I would hear him cry himself to sleep. He used to flinch sleeping next to me out of fear of being The longer the relationship went on, the more annoyed I began to get. I felt like I was being played and that my patience had been ignored. I had numerous conversations about starting a relationship, even if it was very slow, but he still could not seem to get over his ex and the baggage that came with their relationship. We still continued to see each other and still remained close friends. I moved to LA around 3 months ago for work, which I did for myself and nothing related to him. Since I was busy with work, I only saw him 3 times since living in LA, which is very unlikely for us as we saw each other more while living by coastal. After numerous conversations throughout the year about my feelings, during our last talk before the holidays, I told him how I felt again, and he still said he was not ready for a relationship. After much thought while back in New York, I really assessed my situation and decided it was in my best interest to leave. Although I truly am in love with this man, I feel like my emotions are often invalidated. While in New York, a mutual friend of mine who knew them both prior to me told me a horror story about his ex-girlfriend with graphic details of how she him in a series of audio messages his ex sent my friend, while confessing to crashing her car into his, calling his job, him online, him, and graphic details of the action she did to him. After getting this information, I'm starting to feel selfish for leaving him and want to be a better friend to him. Does anyone know how I can do this? And does anyone have any advice for our relationship? Even if we never were to date, I love and truly care about this person deeply and never want to lose them fully. I just also feel extremely hurt over the fact that I'm in love with him and he can't commit to me. Is it worth the wait? And if so, should I remain patient? Lastly, what are some nice things to do and say to show that I'm patient and care for him? He's had a rough week with PTSD as his ex has started calling his work again. So yeah, that Reddit account clearly belongs to her, and by the sounds of things, her and Jason definitely weren't just friends. They were more than that. They were in a relationship. In a since deleted Reddit post by Rachel Velasco's alleged account, she once again further contradicts the statements that she'd made in that video. The post reads, "My celebrity hookup is driving me crazy. Hey everyone, I really could use some advice. I'm currently seeing a high influence male. Due to his career path, he travels a lot and we are only in the same city around 1 to 2 weeks a month. We've been seeing each other for a little over 6 months, but he refuses to be official with me and blames an age gap as the reasoning. Although I have acknowledged the age difference several times, I believe it is the least of our problems if he just handles the situation differently. He refuses to be seen in public with me unless it is a rare occasion, due to his career and again at the age, but constantly tells me that he is in love with me and has told me numerous times that we would eventually get married. I've fallen in love with him, and ever since I developed those emotions, I have felt completely powerless. He told me he loved me first, but once I finally got there and told him I loved him as well, our relationship has become completely toxic. Although he has gotten busier with work, he never makes time to talk to me anymore, see me, and rarely text me. I feel like I've been driven to insanity over the situation. I never felt so strongly about someone, and I've tried so hard to stay away, but I just can't. Even though he ignores me whenever we are apart, when we are together, I feel pure magic again. When we see each other, we always have sex, which never used to happen. Before, we used to have sex, but we could also hang out without it. We also have gotten into a few severe fights, which really hurt my feelings, and if I'm being honest, was straight up verbally abusive. I don't know what to do, because since I'm so in love with him, leaving him is nearly impossible. I don't know how to address any issues with him, because I feel like he promises to make changes but never does. I know he cares about me and genuinely trusts me, but I feel like he doesn't care enough. Is that making sense? I love him so much, and losing him is already starting to me. Sad music makes me cry. Everything reminds me of him. I feel haunted by daily activities because they all remind me of him. I know he's worth for because I've never felt a love like this. And before him, I thought it was something I would never feel. But I'm sick of being constantly hurt and allowing him to make me feel crazy and constantly drained. I'm not dependent on him whatsoever, and I'm grateful for our distance in a sense because it's forced me to be alone, independent and strong, but I still miss him, the way things used to be, and I'm genuinely so worried about him because I know he's battling a lot of personal issues that also probably make the timing for a relationship very unideal. It's not even that I want to date, I just miss having him in my life as a best friend. I feel like I barely know him anymore. So, what are your thoughts on all this drama? Let me know in the comments.